wonderful universe. It's Jennifer here at Eureka Astrology and Healing, and today we are going to be talking about the Libra full moon. The Libra full moon is going to be April 16th, 2022 at 1:55 p.m. Central Standard Time. So adjust your times accordingly if you are not Central Standard Time. And of course, we're going to be feeling this for the day and the days before and after, as nothing happens in a vacuum. And with this moon, it is dynamic. As all full moons, the energy is full, right? So first things first, it's a culmination of things. And since the moon is in Libra, it's Libralian things. And in this nature, beauty, balance, relationship, art, creativity. It's also sometimes known as the artist moon. And so there's going to be a lot of creativity flowing in general for some people at this time. And this is just a very brief note. Due to the full moon, as well as all the Pisces placements that we have going on. But to go deeper into this, there's just so much going on. And as I'm making this video right now, we're in Aries season and coming off the Aries new moon, and I'm seeing stories unfold of very much new beginnings. New beginnings that have to be started. And I think this full moon is going to highlight some of the understory or why the change needs to happen. Right now, things are bubbling, things are moving, things are changing. Mercury's in there, things are really happening fast. And at this full moon, I don't want to say like the bubble kind of bursts, but there will be some illumination as what needs to happen moving forward. With that, the first thing I think of, I kind of got the message of finding creative solutions in the current battles we are in, or we find ourselves in. And so it doesn't always have to be battles either, because some people may have started something new and so they're looking for creative solutions to this new beginning. But I am seeing the call for a new beginning, and there's a battle happening to move forward into that new beginning. And so it's been causing tensions within a lot of areas in my life that I've seen with people around me. And so that's first the energy that I want to talk about, because Aries is, so the sun's in Aries at this full moon, right? And at the last degrees, 26 degrees, it's rounding things out. It's the warrior, it's a seasoned warrior and knows how to step up to the battle, to be courageous, and hopefully to know when not to fight, right? And with this Libra moon, right? So the moon is full because it's opposing it, it's opposite, and so it's shown bright. Our emotions, our feelings, and we have the feeling and need for balance in relationship, right? Balance and beauty and fairness. And so we're fighting forward, forging forward, courageously going forward into these new things. And yet at the same time, we're being asked to find balance within our life with others, right? It's not just about us. It's about the things and people that we are in relationship. And to go on a deeper level, the relationship we have with ourselves, right? And this is kind of the remedy that I'll probably revisit later on again. But like in this whole story, because it is about relating, the relationship to ourselves is important first. If we have a sound, healthy relationship with ourselves, we can move forward into healthy relationships. And I really feel like at this full moon, this is an important message because of the things that will unfold and the dynamic energies and potentially tensions for some people. Remember that if tensions arise with others, ask yourself, how is your relationship with yourself? What is this person for the full moon reflecting to me? How can I see this person as a mirror? Like, is this person, what are they showing to me that I have in me that maybe I have not resolved, right? And be brave about it. It may not be so pretty, because really it starts with ourselves first and moves forward. And so there's another aspect to this full moon in that Pluto is loosely squaring the sun and the moon, right? So Pluto is asking us to dig really deep, right? And it's asking us to dig deep about the foundations. And in this case, I'm going to say about the foundation of our relationships to self and other. What needs to come out? Are there shadows in there? How do you work with somebody or yourself when it comes to relating? And what are those understories, right? What's driving us subconsciously that maybe it's got to go, because Pluto's saying this has got to go, that structure has got to go. And or are you operating in relationships from other people's structures and saying how this is how it should be done? And so then you do it because this is how it's traditionally done. No more of that for all of us. Pluto's getting it to its last degrees and saying this has to get purged. All those foundations that are rotten, you know, termites are eating them, there's mold, it's rot. It's got to go because it's not stable, it's not healthy. We need a new foundation, right? Time for a new foundation for relationships to self, others, and all those structures. And with that, we're going to also talk about, well, so we've got that Aries and Libra energy and that Capricorn energy with Pluto in there, but there is a huge Pisces party also going on. We got 4 planets in Pisces. We're going to just be coming off the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces, again, at later degrees. And so first, you know, think about this all expansive energy while we're working with the energy of self and how we can have a balanced relationship, and we're making sure we get our needs met and others will get their needs met. And is it fair, right? There's this energy being called for like total cosmic love and surrender and letting go and dissolving. And what's a little bit challenging about this at this placement in this time is that these 2 planets are quincunx to the moon, meaning, you know, they're really not talking, they're really not seeing each other. Like this universal love is out there, and it's like, I'm here, I'm present, let go, let go. And I don't want to say like it's a blinder, but it's into the blind spots, right? It is in the blind spots of the sun and the moon. The moon particularly, so our feelings. So we know it's out there, right? We know that we can surrender and that there's a greater love, and, you know, it's a higher relationship to source. And maybe saying like, hey, the relationship to yourself is the relationship to the universe. It's not quite being seen. And maybe what we need to let go of also might not be being seen. And also the illusions we have about relationships and love, especially, are not seen. So we have this feeling and we can't quite see it. We can't quite feel, can't quite put our finger on it. And so, I mean, it's going to be different for everyone, obviously. We all have our different placements, but at this particular time, at the current chart, it's a little elusive, just like Pisces is. And there is something that needs to be let go. And maybe at this time, we weren't quite sure what needs to be let go of, but it will surface, especially I think when Mars comes through a little bit later, because the other placements there, we have Venus in there. So we have Venus and Jupiter in Pisces, 2 benefics, happy as clams, like I said, wanting just to bring it all together and create and dissolve and merge into everything. Meanwhile, we're trying to figure out, right, the me versus the they, like the one and the other, like that spectrum of relationship. So how do we bring that all in? And that's really, it's going to be up to every single one of us to figure that out, because that love and that desire to merge is there. And honestly, what I would say is create. Pisces is great for imagination creation, and that Libra moon is great for creation and beauty. Create something beautiful. That's a great way to positively harness this energy at this time, because you may not have words or whatever for it. I mean, or words if you're a poet, but just do it and, you know, surrender and let source give you, you know, the message that you need to, whatever you need to create and however you're going to create it. And like I said, Mars has just recently moved in at this full moon. And so with Mars, remember, you know, the Aries sun is also answering to where Mars is too. And Mars in Pisces is, don't want to say lost, but kind of lost, because Mars is direct and forward and has a way, and it has it doesn't have to actually have a plan, but it's moving forward. It's got that goal, at least, moving forward. And in water, what is the flame? It's kind of like, psst. And so some of the dynamic, high intense energy of Mars is really just kind of put out. And so in some ways, with that Aries sun, it's calming it down a little bit and asking us to just take a moment, right? It's like, but with the Mars and Pisces, again, it's the best way to channel that. Try not to feel lost, because we're going to maybe feel lost. Like we may not have that answer, and it's best to surrender and be okay with it. And then Mars gets frustrated there because it really wants to do something about this, and surrendering is the best way. And again, what you could do creatively is, you know, to be creative, to mitigate that frustration and feeling lost. I'm sure that many people at this time are feeling lost in general because of all the Pisces energy. And if it's unfamiliar, it's a lot of water to be under. Instead of fighting the water, either float and just let the current take you. And if there are waves, ride the waves. Do not fight the winds. Do not fight the waves. Just go with it, because it's definitely going to be easier. And I mean, you don't want to do that forever. But with this energy, there's asking of surrendering, because it's like, you don't know where you're going to go. And that's okay, because source, universe, whatever is taking you where you need to go. And like I said, the Mars energy at this point, it's not liking it, but let it go. Let it go. And when it gets into Aries later on, you'll definitely find that direction. So we're kind of being asked one more time again to really enjoy the ride and let it go. With that, we also have some other dynamic aspects going on. Saturn is squaring the North Node in Taurus. So this is the other story, because we had, like I said, the Aries Libra axis, and Pluto is squaring that. But this Pisces energy, the Venus particularly, is trining the Taurus energy, particularly Uranus, and close to Mercury as well. So these dreams can be brought into material. This letting go might bring us new ways of valuing ourselves and bringing, money, material to us. And it also reminds us that not everything of value is of material, that cosmic love is very valuable, like self-love is very valuable. And so we're being asked to reassess and to surrender into that as well. And so this dynamic energy of, okay, we're trying to, redo the idea of material, as well as trying to think about the Aries and Libra axis. It's air and fire. There's more action. There's more thought. It's not thinking about material. It's more about interpersonal relationships and that kind of connection, a little more heady. So there's going to be, again, a little bit of a stress between material versus thought and action at this time. And one of the things that I saw was that we might be asked to let go of certain materials or things for the greater good, for the collective, because Saturn is in Aquarius. And it's a good thing. It's making an opening, but at the same time, the collective is still asking to be paid attention to. It's important. And it might not feel so comfortable at the time, because there's a lot of energy in Taurus as well. But something new is coming, right? Something new is going to be happening, because Uranus is slowly sweeping through there. It's saying things are changing, the whole structure, the whole planet, how we value things, money, all of it. But we might have to let something go to be able to be responsible for the greater good. And that energy responsibility is giving an extra nudge into this full moon, but it's positive. It fixes the energy a little bit more, because the Aries is dynamic, fast. Libra is also very fast, and on to the new, into the next potentially, or looking for the beautiful. And Saturn is saying, hey, this is important to stay grounded, rooted, and finding the new way. Saturn in Aquarius, a new structure, right? You're getting rid of the old, that Capricorn energy, that Pluto in Capricorn, and that Saturn Aquarius is saying, all right, I'm going to help you build the new foundation for relationships, right? To self and others, and make it a commitment where you are thinking of yourself and your individual needs, others as well, and also just your uniqueness in general, and making it last, making it stay. And it might be something that you don't even really know. It might be just totally out of left field, but be open to it at this time for certain. And so I looked at the Sabian symbols quickly for both the sun and the moon. And so with Aries, it's an interesting one. It's a man possessed of more gifts than he could hold. So think of someone who there's so many things that they can do. And what happens when you have your hands full of things? What do you do first? What do you put down first? What do you put forward first? It's almost like a sense of overwhelming opportunity, but not knowing what to do with it. And really, there's new realms. So what this is really speaking to is new realms are opening up, many of them. And the individual or us are not quite sure how to fully operate in them successfully yet, because it's new and we have the talents sitting there, but they're fledgling, they're baby, right? And so how do I get through this? And so trying not to undertake more than is safe for you or is going to be of success. So just knowing that these opportunities are opening up, but don't just rush into them, right? That's what this moon is saying. And on the opposite end of this energy is the Libra. These are 26 degrees, again, to the Libra full moon, is an eagle and a large dove change into each other. And so, think of the eagle and the dove like the war and the peace, and really like being one coin. And what it means is that will and love work for a single purpose. Will, the sun, think about that in Aries. Love, more of Libra, the moon. They're working for the same thing, right? And so when they find this balance, it's almost like it spins so quickly that they become one, like merging one color, right? Or one singular thing to do. And so again, but balance and finding that, even though these things are different, they're the same. So we're being asked, like, where are we different and yet it's the same with others? And finding, new ways to balance polarized energies. How very Librian, we need to find balance right now. And I think at this time, what is going to burst, and this is just from my intuition and what I'm seeing in the world right now currently, is that there are a lot of needs that are going unmet, or there have been sacrifices of people's own needs to make balance, and that Aries energy is like saying, hey, I don't like that this was put by the wayside. I don't feel like this is good. Think of a baby. I didn't get the food I needed. I didn't get the sleep I needed. And now I am upset, right? And it's almost not personal. It's just like, I just need. And so if you want to take it out of the baby context of that very Aries starting energy, as an adult, what happens? People blow up often. They'll give and they'll give and give. And then all of a sudden they realize they don't have anything to give, or that wasn't good for them and it wasn't balanced. But like, really, they themselves allowed themselves to give something that maybe they shouldn't have given away, or a boundary they broke for themselves. And so we have to ask ourselves, where are the boundaries, maybe too firm? Where are the boundaries? Not at all. And how can we fix them ourselves? Not blaming others in these relationships, but really looking to ourselves first. That's the courage. Going, oh, okay, because we can fix those. We can create new boundaries, even in old relationships. Maybe old relationships have to end. And on the Libra full moon, there may be relationships that end, and they have to, and it's not personal. It's not good for the relationship anymore. And that means both parties. It's done. It's okay. Lessons learned, and moving forward, finding balance in the next thing that you do, going, oh, I now know that I need this boundary right now for my health, for my sanity, for whatever, right? Just for balance. And so we're going to be asked to do that. And I think it's going to be intense, but I think it's going to be positive. And as Mars moves into Aries, I do think there's going to be some more direction and more action, because Mars right now is when it's at this moon and moving forward for all, it's pumping the brakes a little bit, going, we've done a lot of things have happened, and it's time to let the dream come through material and find balance in our life. With that, I'm Jennifer at Eureka Astrology and Healing. If you like what I'm doing, hit like, subscribe, check out my website, eurekastrologyandhealing.com, for my services. I do astrological readings, health consults. I'm an herbalist, and I also do tarot readings. And for now, ciao. It's going to be wild. Take care.